We all have beliefs that pre-frame you or not. And one of the core beliefs I developed over the years was just that I think everything happens for a reason. I think there's a higher purpose. I think it's my job to find it. I think that life happens for us, not to us, but it's our job to figure it out. And a lot of times I feel like something's happening to me. So I'll give you an example. Not being fed as a child, I've fed, 10 years ago, I decided I'd been feeding people my whole life since I was 17, 2 people, 4, 8. I built up a couple million people a year. My foundation fed 2 million. I fed 2 million. And then I was writing this book, Money Master the Game, and I'm interviewing Ray Dalio and Carl Icahn and Warren Buffett and, all these multi-billionaires. And Congress had just cut food stamps, which they call the SNAP program now, by $6 billion. It means every family would have to give up a week's worth of food unless people like you and I showed up. So I called my team and I said, how many people have fed in my lifetime? And they said 42 million. And I was like, wow, I was thrilled. It wasn't the number I knew. And I said, what if I did that in a year? What if I did as much as I've done in my whole life a year, 50 million? And what if I did 100 million a year? What if I did 100 million a year for 10 years and did 1 billion meals? And I did it in 8 years with Partnership to Feeding America. And it's like, when you do that, when you produce a result that seemed impossible, then what's next gets even bigger and even more available, right? It just expands. You're pre-framed to be able to do even more versus reframe. And so now, because of the war in the Ukraine, most people don't realize it's the breadbasket for Africa. So there's about 11 nations that are on the verge of famine. You'll never hear about it in the news. No one cares. And then you need fertilizer. 50% of the world's food supply comes from fertilizer. The WF doesn't want you to use it because of the environment, but you need it. And it's in Russia and it's been cut off. So I talked to Governor David Beasley, who's the head of the World Food Program, brilliant guy. Actually, MBS put us together one day. He said, you two are feeding the most people I know. I want to put you together. And I said, how big is the problem? And he said, Tony, normally you'd be in a position where, maybe there's 8 million people that are on the verge of starvation. He goes, this year it's 350 million. And he goes, and no one's doing anything about it. And I said, so how many meals would we need over the next 10 years to make the transition till we get sustainability? He said, you need 10 years. I said, what would it be? And he said, I don't know, Tony, maybe 50, 60, 70 billion meals. I said, let's do a 100 billion meal challenge over the next 10 years.